Alright guys, welcome to VALORANT News. The World Championship gets back underway tomorrow. Big roster drama going down last night, but especially for FNATIC, currently considered the favourites for the entire tournament. Alfajer is going to be back for their big match against Gen.G as they try and make it to the World Championship Grand Final. Also some talk about Sentinels, what they might be cooking up over the coming days, if anything at all, with their roster for next season. Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Plenty to get into. Wanted to start here. To the credit of Alfajer and the guys at Riot Games, yes, there has been some criticism about various things they've done, and for good reason on many an occasion, but there has been some talk over the last couple of events on the map pick ban segment with the coaches. Now, I think they got rid of this with the intention to, I don't know, make it slightly easier to understand for a newcomer. That's often the thought process of many of the production decisions. But I think the general feeling is that it's not been a good change. And Leo says that we've heard you that you missed those segments. We're going to bring them back for Champions Finals weekends and we'll consider bringing it back permanently. So if the feedback is good, then they're going to do that. And it's good, right? I mean, you know, it's interesting for Alfajer. He's got one of the more difficult jobs because he is not the decision maker. He is the public face. He is often the fall guy when things don't go to plan. But it does feel like that Leo tries his best for things that, you know, if the community is pushing for something and he can make it happen, he will at least try to make it happen. Not to say that he is faultless by any means. There have been various issues over the years and even in recent times. But at least when something that we think as a community is probably a good thing happens, we should at least say, you know what, maybe let's do more of that. Now, this is a screenshot, but actually I will just go to the actual page itself. These are your global power rankings, powered by AWS for Riot Games, and this is how it looks. So it's pretty crazy what's changed over this tournament so far. I think there are some interesting developments when it comes to, let's say, FNATIC, because DRX have somehow gone up 2 places this event so far. Now, I think there are some debates on how this power rankings works, because DRX, they've gone down to losers, and as a result, they've won a couple of series on the way. And by winning those couple of series on the way, right, DRX, they beat G2, knocked them out of the tournament. They then went on to beat MIBR as well. They gained a load of ELO points for doing that because those other teams, G2 and MIBR to a certain extent, were quite highly rated. So DRX gained a load of points for that. But it is interesting to look at this because DRX are considered to be apparently the best team in the world right now. Because, yeah, they lost, but they beat powerful teams, and therefore they've gained a load of power score points. Whereas FNATIC, who are in the winners bracket sitting pretty, they're somehow dropping down. So yeah, it's obviously not perfect, this, but the list is as follows. G2 are still considered the 4th best despite being dead and buried. NRG, though, are 5th. PaperX, FNATIC, DRX. So if you look at this based on the numbers, yeah, FNATIC are in the winners bracket, so they're probably still the favourites. But the power rankings believes that DRX could be a firm favourite too. PaperX, of course. NRG, outside chance, but who knows? NRG have been pretty good as of late. These are the other results. So MIBR went up to 6th after their pretty good performance. RIQ down in 7th. Then Heretics, XLG, T1 moved up a couple recently. Sentinels are down in 15th. They just got eclipsed by Edward. But it's all pretty tight around here. And there's a couple of ties. We can keep going down and find, of course, teams that didn't make it to the World Championship. Vitality are now down in 32nd place, which is pretty ugly. They'll be making changes. Furia are still rock bottom with plenty of other teams as well. So that's what the power rankings say in terms of predicting the World Championship result. We have 2 roster things to discuss as well. Zyvov is looking for a team. We know that he had an interesting season with Vitality. They brought him in, didn't really go to plan. They got rid of him, they're making moves, and well, he's been playing for Job Life and stuff like this as well. But as he says, I'm under contract until the end of 26 with Vitality, but they have allowed me to explore options. They, as we know, will be taking a rather different approach. And the same is true for Mazzino. So with Crew, they are considering their options too. It's the same thing that a number of teams are doing. Not to say that he won't return, as Mazzino says, I'm in talks with Crew, but I'm free to explore options. So the same will be true for somebody like a Cryo or like, I mean, literally any Thieves player. This is true for right now. They are all still under contract. They are probably all in some discussion there. But it is far from guaranteed that any of those guys are to stay. So the point is Mazzino is gettable. There are loads of big name free agents. Maybe not totally free agents, maybe restricted, but there are loads of big names on the market, which is why, to me, it feels totally impossible that Sentinels stick their roster out. It has been a question, oh, keep the team the same and just get a performance coach. But look, I'll just share to you guys. They put out a 6.5-minute video. I'll share a couple of minutes of it clip on the Sen Bytes channel. This appears to be a video of their basically team after they lost to Gen.G, right? So this is before they got knocked out by XLG, after the Gen.G series, and it's not a pretty team room. Now, of course, you're not expecting the vibes to be high. They've just lost to Gen.G, a team that they will feel like they should have beaten. But the vibes are just horrific in here, and especially when their assistant coach says that they keep having these meetings and nothing ever changes. It just feels like that team, whether they meshed very well outside of the server, doesn't really feel that way. And it's very difficult for me to look at this video. And yeah, teams have arguments, they have debates and everything. Honestly, I would prefer them to be shouting at each other more than I would for them to just be depressed, right? Like, I've seen videos before, plenty of videos, and we've seen it even this season, of teams who are, let's say, not getting along so well, but there's passion there, right? There's passion, there's energy. There's two players who are coming at each other's necks and saying, you made this mistake, you made this mistake. And often the fans will look at that and say, oh my God, I can't believe it, so much drama. These guys hate each other, the team's going to blow it up. And usually, if that team doesn't deliver results continually, then yes, that team will explode. But it's far better to me to have some passion, right? Like, it's good to see the energy in there because it means that at least they want the best for the team they want to try and win. This team room here for Sentinels, I mean, they're all just, like, I don't know, it just feels like there was no belief, is how it felt like to me looking at this video. And bringing a performance coach in isn't necessarily going to magically fix that if the team itself isn't meshing in the way that it should be. So it's always difficult to get a real glimpse into these teams from just a couple of minutes of footage. But that was kind of my initial perception on this video. So intrigued to your thoughts in the comments.
Well, the way we play is just not us. I'm just kind of like frustrated of like running into the same problems every match. Like, you can feel like the tension in the team, like you can feel like people are like just like not talking, like not executing properly, and like sometimes like freeze times are like so hard because it's like a graveyard, and then like trying really hard to like motivate people and like get people talking, and then at the same time getting a call out, and then like I don't know, like maybe the call is completely shit, or like it's like the best call, but just not like, we're not listening to the call, we're not executing it properly, and we're like not asking questions, or like adding to the call, like any form, any shape or form. Sometimes I just feel like we just want to like go next and just get off the PCs. Like we're not having a good time, we just want to like, I don't know, we're just like in a spiral, and we're just digging our own grave, and there's no like getting out of it.
I don't know, we need like one solution to how we're going to play better. I don't think it's like, oh, we're going to walk up to the game and we're like super confident we're going to play well and all these issues will be fixed. But I don't know, I feel like our team play is kind of arse, to be honest, like baseline. Obviously all the issues impact it. I don't know, I feel like we've had so many meetings where it's like this is the issue, but it's like, we said it 10 times, like the meetings don't do anything to help, to be honest.
Very well. I think our micro comms are really fucking bad, to be honest. I think they're fucking terrible. It's so bad, it's so sad to see. I think at their best, they're very good. Very, very, very good. There were some spots that I was really impressed with. At their worst, there's a zero. There's none. And there's a lot of spots where there's none. Like, there's a spot, Marshall's rotating from Aeon Haven, and he's like, what do you guys want to do? Like, what's your plan? Because it's just, my memory of it is just that it's silent. And I could be wrong, but it's just silent. And I know there are a lot of spots today where we should be talking, and it's just silent.
Where do they go from here? It's a good question. Zelsis' Twitter has not really been doing anything, right? So he stopped advertising the bundle. I mean, he said on the 21st Remax against Gen.G, one more to qualify for playoffs, because of course that was when they eventually went to lose to XLG. He then tweeted nothing for 5 days, and then he's tweeted a couple of things since then, but no actual words. So yeah, he must be going through it right now. We'll see what they do going forwards. But the other big update of the day is on FNATIC. So the other day, Alpha was not well enough to play. He had to spend some time in hospital. They said that he was on the mend, And again, there was some discussion about FNATIC and whether they look after their players properly, and Kojo talked a fair bit about it. But the bottom line is that Alpha, after that day, was apparently on the mend. Doma did a great job. He stepped in. I mean, unbelievable, really. The Doma came in. They somehow found the mental resilience and the strength to make the comeback they did on, eventually, the Lotus. Doma and the boys, they win the series. They take down Paper X, and they are now the favourites for the tournament. And yeah, Doma did a killer job, but Alpha on paper, of course, is going to be the player that you want in these big series, the team they've been practicing with now for some time, and they're going to, I'm sure, have so much belief that with Alpha, they're going to win the whole thing. They confirmed that the final boss is back. So Paris final boss, he says, I am back. Alpha's well enough to play again, and it's going to be exciting to see what they can achieve. NRG probably would have hoped that he wasn't fully okay and they could play against Doma, but, you know, who knows? As Kojo says, the private doctor we found here in Paris was great after what was a really rough hospital experience, very communicative, helped us expedite all of the tests and appointments needed. Happy that we got the all clear today and we can go into the NRG game whole. So probably won't have been ideal for their practice over the last couple of days. NRG, we know, are a particularly resilient team, but FNATIC are also pretty damn good. They were doing some scrims, they were playing Enterprise Esports as well. I think they might have been the team, actually, that Doma was a part of, but and also Gen.G Fishy, famously. But FNATIC, they were up 9-0 against them. There was also a couple of other screenshots floating around that basically shared a similar thing. So, looks like their prep's going pretty well. Intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. And I guess just the final question for you all before things get back underway tomorrow. Who's going to win the tournament, right? We've got 4 teams left. Who's going to win it? Because I actually think there's a world where any of these teams win it. And yeah, I think FNATIC are the favourites at this point, right? The victory against Paper X is very impressive. I still think that Paper X have a very good chance to do it. But I still have some concerns about Paper X in, like, when the pressure's really on. Let's say they get back to the grand finals. I don't know. Like, I think that if there was a grand finals rematch, FNATIC Paper X, I think I probably would lean FNATIC. But if Paper X were to win the losers bracket and maybe NRG were to upset FNATIC or something, I don't know. I mean, NRG, even DRX as well, like maybe DRX could do something. I don't think that NRG will win. I think they could get very close, but I think that, again, that team, if it really push came to shove, I'm not sure they would quite have what it takes. But then again, if you look at the players that have previously won a world championship in this tournament, the only one left is Ethan, right? And Ethan's right there on NRG. So very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.